welcome back to another exciting episode of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Kris, it is so good to see you this here on a Monday night. We've survived the hurricane, Chicago's.
I was going to ask about that. Are you guys okay? I know you were like, did you have any chimney leaking or something like that like last time?
No, but it's interesting. My dehumidifier, I emptied twice yesterday, and like obviously it's not raining in my house, but it's just that much moisture. And I was up on a ladder every big storm, like with thunder and lightning, cleaning out gutters. So that was good. During the storm, and you never do it before. Well, it's like I knew I needed to, but then with that much water, I saw how bad it was. I'm like, right now it's just like pouring out of the gutters. Eventually it's gonna be pouring into my house.
Yeah.
And maybe had a little courage. And I said, I better go deal with this now. And it made a huge difference. But yeah, it was crazy. And all I could think of the whole time on a Sunday night, it's like, ooh, I'm playing some of the most exciting golf I've played in a long time. I hope. In 2 days.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
This is moist. Bad.
Yeah.
So
hopefully the drainage is good. We had flooding on the balcony over here, and the city got its ass handed to it, especially up north. You know, we're usually pretty protected here with the tall building and everything, but some of the more neighborhoody type of joints with trees and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I saw there were 12.5 to 16-foot waves on the lake.
There was like a news special I was watching. GN, and there were some people from out of town that were like, we wanted to come see the waves. Like, what? So they were way too close to the lake, man. They're like, the car was getting hit with waves. Like, guys, get out of there. It's not safe.
It's like when everybody was getting stuck in that blizzard, and what was that, 2000?
I was coming back from Indiana that day. I left early, thank God, because I was on Lakeshore Drive when that snow piled up and people were just walking away from their cars.
Yeah.
People just left. I was in my Wrangler going down Lakeshore Drive. Thank God I got out early to get
8
home.
8 feet of snow. My car is not going to make it.
It was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
It was something. And alas, here we are talking golf. Right. We have lots of stuff to get at. We'll see what we actually cover here in the new show format we have.
Hey, can we, before we get into the golf stuff, have you had a chance to watch my new favorite movie, possibly of all time? I tweeted about it. Have you seen Dune?
Oh, no, I haven't. I saw everybody getting excited about it.
Goodness gracious, William, it's so good.
I hope you give us a chance for some Creek talk. But
we can talk Creek for sure. I want to know where you are because I've taken a respite. I'm waiting for you to catch up as best I can.
When Adam said like some great Sunday night activity and watching Dune, I'm like, excuse me, better Sunday night. Let me fix that for you. Watching the Creek, but so
watching some Creek.
Dune's great, huh?
Oh my God, Bill, it is a thing. I wish, I'm not going, just a personal choice. I'm not going to movie theaters yet, but I got a pretty good setup at the house.
Okay.
But that movie, I'm going to watch it again. I'll bet maybe possibly tonight. But because it's so good, but that is a movie made to be seen on a huge screen with great sound and the whole thing. Right. Not to say it wasn't awesome watching it at my house with the lights off and on my big TV and everything else, but man, it's a huge, visual audio, audible audio sort of experience. And it's really, really, really good. I didn't read the book. I have no background of it. I knew
I have enjoyed it. It's like been a week of people getting worked up and excited about it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people, God bless everybody just coming in with their, I knew the book. You didn't know it was a book. I was like, oh my God, every time.
Oh, it's this. Yeah. It's what was the series on HBO that we love so much? And the name is escaping me right now.
Not
Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones all over again.
I really didn't think.
Yeah,
when you couldn't think of it, I'm like, there's no way it's talking about Game of Thrones. I'm just making it. Okay.
It's Game of Thrones all over again when they're like, man, I read the books. This isn't really like, okay, whatever, dude. I'm still gonna enjoy the living shit out of it because it's so good. This is. I mean, it's the beginning, the first half hour probably when you're trying to get your bearings because they're talking about different planets and you're trying to align like who's on what side, and the whole thing is very sort of disorienting. And then
it sounds like Game of Thrones, yeah.
And then you get it, and you're like, oh, I see what's going on here. And then from that point on, it's 2.5 hours long, so it's long. The last hour and a half or whatever, 2 hours, you're just like,
did I catch this right? They already have number 2 like done and in the books.
Is it done? I'm not sure if it's
I might be. I mean, I don't
know. I know there's going to be like 5 of them or something.
Okay.
This is only the first half of the first book.
Oh, geez. All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's really, something I can appreciate nowadays, the way they've learned that we love these sort of, these series, the Harry Potters and whatever, that they map these things out. So when they end this one, like they already knew there was going to be another one. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it kind of leaves you like, it's very much that, I wish they just released all 5 and I would have spent 3 days in my house, not showering or eating and just watching all these like right in a row. Cause it's like, it's so good. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to derail the show. I just wanted to ask if you had seen it. It's
what's it?
Quite the thing.
Stupid question. I don't know if we've talked about this, but like, I'm not telling you I'm staying off social media by any means, and my discipline's very good, but I can't be on conversational social media, and it's not just golf. It's not just golf. It's anything. So I'm very much not in the loop as much. I mean, turning into old man yelling at clouds right before your eyes with kids and all that. Like, right. I'm very much not in the loop on most pop culture things. Maybe I get like a little hit of Dancing with the Stars because the girls in my house watch it. But is it what I want to watch Dune at my house? What network or what's it on? What was it released through?
HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's quite the thing, man. It's really. And the other thing too is very similar to Game of Thrones is like, if your wife's going to watch it with you, she needs to be quiet and just watch it with you. Like you can't do other stuff
right
while you're watching it. You really need to give it its full attention. Now I'm good at
that, but okay. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the whole thing and I'm reading about Hans Zimmer who did the soundtrack of it. And
say no more if Hans Zimmer's involved.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, he made up instruments, like new instruments that never existed before to make these sounds. And it's just something incredible. The whole thing is just.
I got an instrument now.
It's like, yeah, I mean, a lot of it was recorded, at home by musicians, and one of the vocalists like did all of her work in a closet, at her house, and she just did it over and over again. And they layered the stuff. It's just really,
wow,
it's quite something.
It is. I'm all right.
Really quite something.
It's on my list. I also have a rewatch of all the Christopher Guest movies on my list. So
that's a really good idea. I'll give you one more little pop culture tidbit that I've discovered.
Please do.
I also tweeted about this, but I've discovered the podcast called Smartless. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of Smartless? So Smartless is it's Sean Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Glenn Ellen's own.
Glenn Ellen's own. Sean Hayes, Will Arnett, and Jason Bateman. They are the hosts of the show. They're all friends. Every episode, one of them brings someone onto the show. The other two don't know who it is. And then they have a conversation. Yeah. And they have a conversation for an hour or so. And it's like, imagine the guest list between those three. Imagine the talent that they can pull in. I mean, I'm listening to Bob Odenkirk's episode right now. They've had Sandler on. They've had Sarah Silverman. They've had Jennifer Aniston. They had Kamala Harris on before she even was identified as the
Oh, okay.
running for vice president.
Oh, so you recently heard about it and you're going into the back catalog.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's been around for like a year or two. I think they probably started during the pandemic. Seth Rogen's episode is unbelievable. Judd Apatow, they bring him. It's just like the guest list is extraordinary and they are really, really funny. I think you'd really enjoy it. Yeah, it's just they just bag on each other the entire time and then ask a few questions here and there. But
if we were more popular, that's something we should do with golf on this show. But
it would be incredible.
Yeah, I think
it'd be incredible.
We're not big time enough. No one.
That's true. Maybe in 2022 we can start to pull some things. Yeah. But anyways, I found that and I've been binging the shit out of it.
So you're probably, it sounds like you're really fascinating to be around right now, just locking you up into rooms and just consuming media, which is prolonged media consumption is a great recipe. I love that's one of my favorite Kris McEwens. It starts out great.
It's true. All right. Anyways, let's get on with the show.
So
talk some golf
real quick here. We were discussing, I have a new setup. I'm very excited about it, but I'm still settling and getting comfortable. And one of the things I found, I think it's sort of inspired by your setups. So the plural on purpose. And I realize it's kind of too late where I have the camera versus the monitor that you're on.
Yeah.
Just too much space. So like if just out of the corner of my eye, so it's not so bad. I have to look almost 30 degrees this way. So if at any point it looks like I'm really not paying attention, just you're way over here.
Well, with this setup, you're right here. So I literally have to look.
So you're
so I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you through the camera, but not really. I can't see anything you're doing.
Right.
You could you have no shirt on and
which is tough because we do a lot of gesturing.
It's true. It's true. We tend to vibe off one another's, physical sort of.
We're very big
gyrations.
Physical. We're big into physical comedy, is what it comes down to.
Right, but no, I can't. I have to look over here to see you.
91 shows into this, and here we are.
That's because I like to give the viewer a different experience in my studio here, and I'm very mobile. I have my camera here,
and that's how I
can
feel
move it around, and I can do stuff.
I have this one going today, and that's sort of how I felt.
I like it.
And you're like, oh, your setup. I go, you know what though? It gives me a different look, and it feels like I feel a little reinvigorated.
See,
positioned slightly different.
And I thought about doing a stand-up show today. Not a stand-up show, but a show while I was stood up. And
I don't hate that idea. That range of stand up, and we have to do
I haven't done one of those in a long time. And I was
10 minutes
right. Right. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be late to our get together. And it turns out I never sent the link in the first place. So we were already late. And then you showed up 3 inches from the camera. Right. And so we had to address that.
91 episodes. All right, let's get into some golf content.
Okay.
Hang on. All right, hang on. I got to grab something. I want to see if you're familiar with this.
This is all going to get cut out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to edit all this out. This isn't going to exist. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, I will tell you. This is a beer called Cafe Death. Oh, he's back. Everybody, shh.
All right. We're going to find it. What that means to me.
Glad we did this.
What that means. Well, it's even better than what that means to me. One of my children took it. It's usually what happens when they find my stuff down here in the basement. Did you get the new Clean Flight ball washer from our buddy David Wheatley?
Well, I think I might have.
Okay.
But you're such a good co-host of the show, Bill. I've got something right here.
I wonder if that's it, because that's what I wanted to get it as we were talking. I'm like, you know what? This thing I kind of wanted to talk about it and at least show it, and I can't find it. Okay. So I feel like if you have it,
should we? I think I do. Should we do our first ever real time?
Yes.
Unboxing on this show? Okay. So usually If you're new to this channel, if you're just turning into this channel, I apologize. We apologize
if you don't turn into it, stay where you are, tune into it.
Right. For not going right into the golf. But sometimes we just have to, we miss each other and we have to talk. Anyways, we get things in the mail, and usually we record one-off episode or one-off videos called What's in the Box, right?
Yep. What's in the box?
And it's a whole thing. And so then we open it up and we give you our very first impressions and some information on it. I got this. We must have got this a week ago, and I just was too busy. And I got, the whole setup,
watching and listening to a lot of things.
Yeah, I got a lot of content to digest. But anyways, we'll do a What's in the Box right now.
Do it
live on air.
We'll do it live,
so to speak. Okay, cutting away from myself.
Yeah,
as we all know, as big fans of the show know, knife safety is first and most important.
The desk
there's styrofoam in between
during the desk switch. The What's in the Box official knife went missing for a while.
Does your kids have that too?
Unfortunately, I found it, but figuring out where it goes now has been quite the event. All
right, Bill. So here it is.
There it is.
Here is the Clean Flight professional golf ball washer. Let's see. It's designed by golfers for golfers. It's a revolutionary engineered multi-variable brush system. Keep your ball performing at peak level throughout the game. This is pretty handy considering the time of year that we are starting to play in. You should definitely take this with you this week for your big round.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little spongy out there.
Yeah, it might be a little wet. Let's open this thing up. I'm gonna destroy the box because there's another tape job on here that I didn't see. But see, this is how you know that it's. Oh God!
Don't worry, it's not live. You can technically edit it.
It's true. I can edit that.
But why do that?
Okay, so it's got some stuff on here about a clean ball performs better in the air. Blah blah blah. Dirty golf ball. Dimples. Yada yada. If it's a clean golf ball, it's going to fly better. It's going to roll better. And this is really good. Since I've become a bit of a germaphobe in the past 2 years or so, it is designed to help improve your game while reducing the spread of germs. Because now you're not messing around with old water sitting in a
you're not the same ball wash everybody's using. No one's spitting on a ball.
Right. Yeah. Who knows how old that water is that's in there. It's splashing all over the place. Probably gets in your mouth, whatever. I don't know. All right. So here we go. Here it is. Here's the Clean Flight Fly Further Putt Straighter. I'll say this right off the bat. What's that?
Is that a bottle of hand sanitizer clipped to it?
It's a cleaning solution.
Oh, I was gonna say.
So this is gonna go inside here. Yeah, that would have been nice too. But it's got the nice. What is this called? A carabiner? Carabiner. Okay.
I like carabiner. I'll adopt it.
Carabiner. That sounds racist. And some cleaning solution. And I can tell you right now, it's well designed because it looks like it'll fit into a cup holder on the golf cart or in your push cart, which is good. But it also obviously will also hang from your bag. If you're a carry guy or a push cart guy, I'm sure I'll put it on my bag. Although I do kind of like the idea of just putting it right into the golf cart. I'm into that and just having it right there.
Now that you have it in your hands.
Yeah.
Is it so? Say you're going to carry your bag, right? You're going to throw it on the shoulders and walk. It's really wet out, so it's just easier to carry.
Yeah.
Is it a little too much? Is it too dangly from the bag, or is it okay?
It's probably fine. It's a little. I mean, I don't carry a lot. But I feel like it's light enough, there's no water or anything in here. So I don't know how heavy you could possibly get. There's I don't know if I have a good, if there's brushes in here, obviously that will scrape against the ball. Ball will sit there. There's some slots go, and then you just turn it, I guess, like this, yeah, that's pretty, I think it'd be fine on a bag.
Okay.
Carrying it. I think it'd be all right. I mean, I don't think you'd want to like fill this thing to the top with water, per se. If you're carrying it, it could get a little heavy, but it's pretty good. I mean, this is like the size, it's a little, maybe just a touch smaller than that speaker I have.
Okay.
That Bushnell speaker.
Yep.
which it's about the same size, and I hang that on my bag and push cart around with it. So yeah, I'm kind of into this, man. I don't know.
Well, and I feel like, I don't know about you,
this is
but
pretty cool.
Post COVID, a lot of golf courses have done away with the ball
They don't
washer.
even have them. Yep, totally
how
true.
often? I mean, virtually every round we've played together, you hear me complaining about it, and then I found out a lot of the private clubs don't like the eyesore of a ball washer.
Also
on their tees.
True. Also true. Very good call.
So if you're going to go play a soaking wet round at 1900 golf course,
which is what we do.
That costs like $1 zillion to go play.
Yeah.
You don't want to play with a muddy golf ball all day, and eventually it's annoying to just spit shine all of them. But if you have the Clean Flight ball washer attached to your bag,
this is pretty. I'm into it. Pretty. I am actually really into this. It's well made. In fact, they should make like a complimentary one of these, like a decoy one without the brushes, and you just put like booze in there. And then it'd just be like, what, man? It's just my Clean Flight guy.
Great thinking. And then they're like, why are you, no, I think even with booze, you still got to put a ball in every now and then just to throw the people off the scent. And then they'll wonder why they saw you like slamming it.
Yeah. This is good. I do like, actually, this is, sometimes we get, this could have been very easily like a kitschy sort of silly thing.
Let's be honest. It very much falls into that category.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, every now and then you stumble upon those gross little novelty things that you think are a joke. And you're like, actually, do you remember?
That's totally true.
Remember
totally
the blue,
where the ball goes,
the blue golf ball goggles I have, where they're just like all blue Wayfair style sunglasses.
Yeah.
And they're for help find the golf ball. I'm like, okay, yeah, right, sure, whatever. Man, you put those things on. The white, it just makes everything blue, and the white golf ball does jump out. I'm like, all right, touche. These are a little silly, but they're fun, and God damn it, they work.
And they do what they say they're going to do. Yeah. So anyways, there we go. Our first show, What's in the Box? Clean Flight ball washer. I'm very excited about this, and it's a great addition to the bag. And I wonder if I'll have to look it up. If you can, at some point we'll run out of this Clean Flight cleaning solution. I imagine they would have this like on the website separately, right? Or you could just put some like dish soap.
I was gonna say, I'm not a rocket scientist by any means. I have a feeling you could just throw some dish soap in there and call it a day. And then, hey, if I'm wrong, drop it in the comments. Let me know.
But me, I like to, this is specifically to wash golf balls, Bill, and I'm not washing dishes out there, right?
Right, you'll take it super serious. But if I were to suggest that, you'd be like, just use dish soap,
right? Anyways, good lead into that. Thank you for that. And this is the Clean Flight Fly Further Putt Straighter ball washer. I'm into it. I really am. It's pretty well built, and it's a good idea.
Look it up on Amazon because that's where we got it from. So check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let's talk a little bit of golf. So I'm not looking for a course review so much here, but I want to talk about it. If you're interested in Chicagoland golf history, I feel like it is an interesting topic. You played golf at Idlewild Country Club this past weekend. Yes,
I did. Courtesy of J-Riv, the Riv.
Nephew, the Riv.
Yeah.
That place, and really, I mean, the South Side clubs in general are just fascinating. We've talked about them almost ad nauseum, as they say on this show.
It's true.
But its origins go back early 1900s, and there's a
1908 or something.
1908, and there's a stretch where the train line goes, and 5 stops in a row. It's like I'm not going to get them in the right order, so don't give me a hard time. But you have on this train line, one stop's Ravislow, the next stop. Or I won't say the next step. Sorry. In line, you have Ravislow, you have Calumet Country Club, you have Idlewild, you have Flossmoor Country Club, you have Olympia Fields, which had 4 courses at one point.
Right.
So they fired this one up. Now, back in the early 1900s,
just real quick, so why are courses there? Why are these old historic courses there? Well, where I'm living right now, in early 1900s, late 1800s, was not a thing.
Yeah.
Was not a place. everyone lived where the, the south. So where Sox Park is at 35th and Shields in the city, it was like the north side of the city.
Yeah.
Right. Where for those that have gone to the Museum of Science and Industry, that was the city. Like it wasn't South Side. That was the city. And so that's why these courses, they were just off kind of the city boundary. They were just outside the city, basically. And so that's why those trains stopped there, because all of the, the rich folk out of the city wanted to take there. At the time, it was probably a 15-minute train ride to their country club.
And very specifically, you had in that area, that was like the countryside escape for the railroad industry.
Yep.
And
big time.
And the steel industry. And then fast forward, and I mean, this is this subject, but basically the steel industry that was thriving in Gary, Indiana, like aged out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Railroads.
That's true.
Railroads changed. And while Chicago's still like a hub for all of North America, it moved largely like straight west of the current city. And
I mean, if you think about, I don't want to jump into the Chicago history thing. I mean, where's Jeffrey Bear when you need him?
I was waiting to drop a Jeffrey Bear.
But, the city burned down. That city burned down. The second city is where I live, basically. That's why it's called the second city, because they rebuilt it. But the train yards were where like Grant Park is. And, for those that have the Bean, Cloudgate, that's train yard. That all was train yard, and they got rid of it all because it, like Bill said, it moved out of the city basically.
So, in the early 1900s, all these people wanted to have their country clubs. And again, remember, these weren't just somewhere to go play golf. They were escapes from the city. They were country vacations. You could stay there, you eat there, you ride horses, you do whatever, right?
Had yourself a little cottage off the course, whatever.
Played some polo, maybe.
Sure, why not?
So you had all these clubs, right? And they were very, very, you have to remember, and especially around this time, and there's a social discussion for this even currently, but people were very tribal still, right? You had the Catholic Country Club. You had the Protestant Country or the Lutheran Country Club. You had the Italian Country Club. You had the Polish Country Club, maybe, or whatever, right?
And there were a couple Jewish clubs as well.
So
everyone went to their sort of,
many that it became still very common in the wider Chicagoland area, because there were a bunch of clubs around the same time up north as well. So you went north of the city to get out in the middle of nowhere. And maybe surprise to nobody, the Jewish citizens of Chicago had a hard time finding a home in these country clubs.
Right. Yes.
So what did they do?
The least. Yeah.
They were successful, in a lot of the various industries that the city was built on.
Yep.
They started their own clubs, but even within their community, they were divided. They had the Russian Jewish community and the German one. Correct. I don't remember which was which, but one of them started Ravenslow. The other one started Idlewild. Say, hey, if you can't, we can't get into clubs, we'll start our own. And they were both, I mean, Ravenslow was around like 1901 to 2008 private, and Idlewild is 1908 to now.
Present day. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the time, they enlisted this guy, Al Naylor, to build the club. I build a course out, pick the course, help him with it. He goes, here's a great plot of land right outside the city.
Yeah.
Wow, we could make a good golf course here. And they went, no. That's too close to the city. We gotta get out of here. Yeah. And some other people went, no, that's perfect.
Yeah, like, all right, we'll take it.
We're gonna take this. We're gonna build a golf course here, and I'm gonna get this guy Donald Ross to come in here. He's gonna design it, and we'll build it, and we're gonna call it Beverly Country Club.
Yep.
So the original proposed site for Idlewild was Beverly.
Yeah, crazy.
They build this course. Al Naylor was the original superintendent, greenskeeper, like everything. Yeah. He was the guy, lived on premises. Right. I don't know what the word is. He lived there
on site.
Right. He was there all the time. And they brought in another Chicago boy, Bill Langford. William Langford at some point to say, hey, help us out with this course. Now, here's what's interesting about it.
For those real quick that recognize William Langford's name, he built sort of the GCA's kind of sweetheart in Wisconsin, him and his pal, right? What was this partner's name?
Well, that's going to be him in the next point here.
Theodore
Moreau, Teddy Moreau.
Yes. So, Langford and Moreau were the duo. When I sometimes until now, I couldn't. I still can't. Langford and Moreau feel like it's a Core and Crenshaw kind of thing, right? It's they're always together. But Langford did a bunch of stuff in the city or near the city before teaming up, apparently.
Well, lots of it. He was around, widely successful in golf. But they did Lasonia. They did Butterfield Country Club. Their names all over the place. And another interesting topic sometime, the lost courses of Langford Moreau that used to be what is O'Hare Airport now. There's like 7 of them.
Yeah, you sent me. Yeah, I would love to have. I would love for you to teach me things about that. Well, you sent me a picture of it way back, but
we got some. I have work to do. I don't know it that well, but there's a bunch that too.
That's totally a Jeffrey Bear guest thing. Got to get that dude on the show.
I'm saying I'm on it. Like, oh, hang on, I know the people to talk to. So anyway, Langford comes in like, hey, help with this course, and he did it without Moreau. So it's just Langford and Al Naylor, and then like everything, there's a bunch of work done, and
sure,
we'll get to this. Having not played there myself or been there, and I've only heard things, I'd be interested to see how much Langford is still there. I'm gonna guess. Not a ton, but whatever.
You can see. So you want me to get into a little bit? Are you still,
no, not yet.
Still doing
not
it?
Yet.
Okay.
Still doing a history lesson here. Okay. So within the first 4 years of opening it, the beloved Western Open was held at Idlewild.
That's right.
And it went on for years. Now as time evolved, you and I talked a little bit about this before we started the show, but there was another club in the south suburbs, like in the Homewood, the Flossmoor area, that was pretty good, went away. All their members started getting sucked up into Idlewild. At some point, Idlewild and Ravensville both went the way of hey, you don't have to be Jewish to be here. But it was largely people still made up of the local Homewood Flossmoor community and people whose clubs were the economy was dying in the South Side. They needed to find somewhere to go. They were taking them in. So that happened quite a bit at Idlewild. This club I can't think of, which I'll find out later tonight, laying in bed and be like, Kris, here's what it is. And you're going to go, good. I've never heard of it.
You're not talking about Calumet.
No, because Calumet came later. So as Calumet, was in its dying breath trying to stay alive and the memberships finally were out. A lot of them went to Idlewild. But when Ravensville shut down, I shouldn't say shut down, private Ravensville shut down, a lot of the they worked out a deal where a lot of the membership could go over to Idlewild, no initiation fee, et cetera, et cetera. But between the two Jewish clubs, right? They were known for having the best food at Ravensville. And so they said, we want the chef.
Interesting.
So part of their deal was, obviously I have no idea if he's still there, but their executive chef was part of the deal and went over to work at Idlewild.
I had no idea. That's awesome. That's really funny. Yeah. As I'm married to a Jewish girl, I can tell you that, they are particular.
So there's a lot of old Ravensville there.
How hard is it to make pastrami or lox and bagels or what's the other thing we always have? Actually, lox and bagels is no joke, man. Those they're not going to mess around with that stuff.
By the way, I've had
the potato pancakes. I guess there's a reason that Manny's has existed for 100 years or whatever. Because God, it's so good.
Side note. I have had ongoing, I don't know if it's the weather, whatever, but allergy things going on. I'm having since
I know you sound like, do you need to blow your nose? You want to take a break?
No, it won't make a difference. It's brutal.
Oh, it's just constant. Okay.
But I apologize for all that.
Yeah, it's a real professional sound. I mean, right into the microphone too.
For all the ASMR people, it'll be perfect. I just love listening to people sniffle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it has a real interesting history. I don't know why I thought forever that Don Ross did both courses. He didn't. Yeah, he did Ravensville. which it's funny because you and I both love Ravislow so much, but in my research for this topic, it's like, oh, the South Side plights, and I know Dave Essler came in and sunk $1 million in and made it very brought a lot of Ravis features, but like, even when you go look at pictures, like when it was at its best toward the end, you can just see, and then you look at now, like it's great. It is beautiful. There's a lot of Donald Ross still there. I have often heard, and a lot of my research agreed, that it is arguably the best golden era course down in that area. But you can look at it and you go, it's just not what it was. I can guarantee that. You know what I mean? And you're like, I wonder how much different it was. And maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But
well, I mean, obviously, it's a much more mature course now, right? And there's houses around and blah blah blah. But
right.
I mean, it's really easy for us to say, like, well, you get rid of some trees and widen a couple of fairways, like they did on the back nine. What's that hole? Is it it's 12, right? Where they push that tee way back, and there's a lion's mouth bunker right in the middle that
where
par 4.5 like, or whatever.
I was gonna say they can make it a 5 or a 4. Yeah.
Yeah. But they widen that fairway. It's real big and wide. Same with 13. I feel like they really widen that one out. But even on 12, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sure, I think you pointed it out when we played it together. There used to be bunkers all around that pushed up green to make it an even more difficult sort of approach shot if you really wanted to go for it. But now it's not there. But I
still love it. So
I think,
I don't want to talk myself out of this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, you'll never hear me really besmirch Ravislow Golf Club. I love that place. Somebody golf club, whatever. But yeah, there's it's the best, most accessible, I feel like, Donald Ross in our area for sure. So,
anyways, having played Idlewild.
Yes, now, I have played Idlewild now. Yeah.
What I feel like between your own work and our mutual work, you have learned enough about Langford and seen his work, his
but a couple Langfords now. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think in terms of, is there much Langford out there? What was the vibe? Tell me all about it.
The best I know, so it's a very typical, it's a very recognizable style of clubhouse on the south side or south neighborhood type of, it's very Flossmoor-y. It's not quite the massive, it's not Olympia Fields. Like Olympia Fields is on its own, right? But it's that brick sort of prairie style clubhouse. Didn't go inside of it, unfortunately, just didn't have a chance to. But externally, that's what it is. Very, very similar to the other. I mean, I feel like there's Olympia Fields, and speaking of Ravislow, there's Ravislow, and then there's the rest of those sort of. It's like the typical prairie style brick, beautiful building, right?
Okay.
But I didn't get a chance to go in.
That's a big thing. Pools? I read a lot of pushing that they had 2 pools.
Oh, interesting. I saw one for sure.
Okay.
But I wasn't on the lookout for pools. Now back to Langford real quick. What I can tell you is that Lawsonia is still like maybe it's the Moreau team thing, but Lawsonia is still to me like, those just dramatic raised greens, big undulations, and just kind of just really fun type of greens, right?
Okay.
You can see that a little bit at Idlewild, but not as dramatic. So there are pushed up greens. I will say this about Idlewild. I don't know if this is the case or not, but it seemed some greens were abnormally small. Like there may need to be some
like perhaps
renovations.
Okay. As I say, perhaps they've lost some of their green size over the years.
Yeah. There's one, at the same time they do a really good, so it's a bit of a lopsided course. So I think there were 4 par 5s on the front. I think I read there's 5 par 5s on the course, 5 par 3s. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I want to say and there's one par 3 for sure on the front, maybe 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Right. But it's a very long front 9. because of the par fives. Like all the par fives are, there's 4 par fives. To me, that just seemed that stood out to me. Like, man, because it felt like every other hole, like there's another par five.
This feels excessive.
Yeah, right. And then you get on the back and you're like 4, 4, 4, 3, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4 or something like that, right? 5. Okay. No, there's 2 par fives in the back too, because Riv eagled the final hole there on 18, the par 5. Hit a great second shot. God, kicking eagle, like legit kicking eagle. Anyway, so I will say that you can see the Langford sort of, steam shovel. Let's raise this green up a little bit. There's one par 3 that sticks out that was a little sort of, so it was like 100-yard shot, but it felt like, this is when I get back to the green size, it felt like a par 3 golf course hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like,
A
whatever.
little more executive-y.
Yeah, totally. But otherwise, it reminded me very much of sort of the Ravislow routing. It's very tight. Obviously they used less land back then. It's not as sprawling. It's a good challenge. I think they could also use some tree removal. I know like Flossmoor's got a whole plan and everything else. I think maybe Idlewild might want to get on board with that and start clearing some stuff out and widening some things out.
Price of oak's good right now. Get rid of those trees.
Right. I know they actually, as a matter of fact, I know they are doing tree removal because Riv had mentioned the last time they played, they had like a huge, tree removal machine or whatever, and then they were running them through the whatever that thing, the tree shredder,
mulcher, whatever. I guess I call it the chipper.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It'd be just my luck. Like, that's the day I'd show up to play, and it'd be every hole is right near here.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm playing this really big time round I've been talking about for weeks. I'm so excited about with old Tweeds and Heisey.
Yeah.
And I just remembered we are the people who have the luck of the grounds crew chasing us around the course the entire day. So I'm like, watch this opportunity to like cross off a bucket list course and have that happen.
Right. But yeah, anyways, I will say that I think Flossmoor, let's just compare Flossmoor to Idlewild. I feel like those are the two that are probably closest in comparison. I think Flossmoor has a head start on the sort of renovation stuff to me anyways. I will say the Idlewild Greens were very fair. You did have to hit good shots. They didn't, they would defend themselves on several occasions. And the Langford style of greens, you were going to, if you miss a green, you were going to have a challenging chip shot. It wasn't going to be a flat, easy chip. You're going to have to do a little gymnastics to get onto the green. But I spent the day shooting at the front of the greens. We learned very quickly. It was kind of, Olympia Fields greens were faster and firmer, but they were also bigger. But I shot at the front of the greens all day because we were getting rollout. Even this late in the year, we were, I'm just going to let this thing land and roll to wherever it rolls, and so be it. Like if I hit a 7-iron into a green, I'm just going to hit a 7-iron to the front,
right,
and let it happen. Because we saw very quickly that you miss a spot on a green, you're going to have a difficult chip. So
let me throw this comparison at you. So you're comparing Flossmoor and Idlewild. What I'm wondering as you're talking, how would you compare Idlewild to like Schaumburg? That's
a good comparison.
Another early Langford Moreau that maybe isn't what it used to be, but has the bones.
I think, yeah. So I think, they've done a good job. We got to go out there next year and play it so you can see the renovations that they've made. It's not as Langfordy as this one.
Okay.
I don't think. I think to me, maybe I was like looking for
Schaumburg's not as Langfordy as. Okay.
Right. I feel like at Schaumburg, there's a couple, it's tough because there's 3 9s, but I think it's the players.
I won't remember. You'd have to be like out there and go this one and go, oh, okay.
Yeah. So hopefully we get to play the right combination, but to me, there's one set of 9s where it's like, yes, I could see that this is a Langford. They're raised tee boxes, they're raised greens. There's some good bunkering and that kind of stuff that calls out some Langford stuff. And then the other 9s, I don't know that you would get that. It's just kind of like Parkland golf.
Okay.
Really. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey man, I think that's a good recap of Idlewild. I was gonna say we could do some Creek talk, but I feel like we got a show here. We're like,
we are. We waste a lot of time. I kind of hijacked the show. Where are you? At least tell me where you are in the series. Are you still in season 1?
Yeah, season 1, episode 11. We usually, get kids to bed, especially when I gotta shoot the show. We get like one episode in a night, and
because they're 45 minutes or whatever. So
we are at Webster from Band of Brothers shows up, and Billy Conrad is Jen's ex-boyfriend from New York.
Oh yeah.
And Dawson, him and Pacey go to New York.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Providence, and
Did you see the character that I talked about? The guest star, the girl that he.
Oh yeah. And my wife's like, that's I'm like, Carol.
It's Carol.
And then we spent
early in her career.
We spent like 15 minutes just going, Carol. Carl. Carol. I thought we were hilarious. We really got a kick out of ourselves doing it. And we're supposed to believe Dawson, Joey, all them are 15 years old. Okay, fine. But
I gotta say though, those 15, I never, far be it from me, I was never a Pacey or a Dawson, I didn't have the looks or character panache or whatever it was that they had, but they are pulling like when some talent there in the 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds all of a sudden.
When Dawson and Carol step out of the bar together and are talking.
Yeah.
She looks like she's 30.
Right.
And James Vanderbeek looks like he's 23 at minimum. And I'm like, this isn't believable. Who, like a high school, like they look like two adults coming out of like a normal grown up bar. This is supposed to be like a college scene. So it's brutal.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say before we wrap up here, Pacey is still insufferable and definitely not appropriate for contemporary, diplomacy. But he really did a good job. I would say sort of reprising himself, maybe, and not redeeming, but Joshua Jackson's back. And the episode, it was such an insufferable episode where they're like, oh my God, this is a Breakfast Club. And you could tell they thought like it'll be really funny to take, or really clever to take the movie guy. And
no one's ever done this before. No one's ever done.
Right. We'll put him in classic movie scenarios.
Right.
And they had the whole discussion where they're like, who's even doing, like, what happened to everybody from the Breakfast Club? And when Pacey goes, Emilio Estevez, he did those hockey movies. It was the Ducks. Man, I really like those. Those were really, I was like, all right, okay. I'm in. It's very on the nose, but it was so current and recent.
Very good.
It was good.
Yeah.
And then when, if you recall, the only way they can get Joey's niece, I believe, or Joey's sister had a baby, and the only way they can get it to sleep, the kid falls asleep, is to English Patient, and Pacey's trying to get her to sleep because Joey's passed out, and Pacey just starts reenacting and telling the baby all about the scenes from the English Patient. Great scene. I thought it was awesome. Good.
You're right. That is.
So that's where I'm at in Creek. Creek
there's so much more that. Oh God, Pacey actually. They must have gotten some sort of feedback on Pacey because I feel like they fixed him. I think I don't know why they did what they did very early on.
Like, I'm not saying he wasn't an asshole and his character does not continue to be insufferable. Like, I remember Pacey being like sort of cool in the show.
Yeah, he's a charmer. Like he's a
first season. It's not there, man.
Man. I feel like so they introduce Marilyn Monroe. No, is that her name? No, it's something very similar. His next girlfriend.
Okay.
It's not. God, what is it?
I'll find out. I'll let you know soon.
It's she shows up and they start dating, and that's when I really feel like they start to rebuild.
I can't wait to wrap up this show. Not to get rid of you, but to go watch an episode of Creek before I go to bed.
So you're still season 1, man? Jesus, I'm in season 3. Hurry up!
I'm working on it. Season 1, episode 11. So got to be getting close.
You're probably one of those people that sleeps.
No, that's the other problem. That's the other problem. I don't sleep either, and especially not now. But that can.
But you said your wife is back in because I thought she bailed on it.
No, she was close to it, but she's still in.
Oh, she stayed. Okay, well, that makes things more difficult because, my wife she's done. My wife, she's done with it.
Who?
Yeah, she's done with it, so I can just binge. I watch 2 or 3 episodes. Like I won't do it tonight, but I'll
Right, same.
Once you get caught up.
That's what I would do normally, but anyway. All right. Chris, anything
that was
going
for that Dawson's Creek segment was specifically for our guy Scoob. Scoob, you're welcome. And also kind of off because he's into it now too. He's going to get hooked. He's never seen it before.
I don't understand his last comment on our YouTube show, so I'm just moving on. Hey, question for you. What do you got going on? Anything you want to plug?
Nothing too exciting. We still we did record the Cabot trip that the Talking Golf Getaways guys went on. A couple of them are the Golf Trip X guys, whatever. There's a podcast, Talking Golf Getaways, about that. And I think that's about it.
Okay, over at driverangeheroes.com, we posted the Tour Edge Exotics Pro 721 Fairway Wood review, so go check that out. Then Wednesday, we kicked off the series of UST Mamiya Lin Q M40X shaft reviews. We started with the Lin Q Blue M40X, so check that out.
Okay.
Do all the usual things. Make sure you subscribe to Kris's YouTube channel. We're going to post all the hits. Probably start bringing some gear talk back soon because unfortunately it turns out we're real busy adults, believe it. Guess what? We have day jobs and lives. Yeah.
I would like, if I can make one small request, the at least bring back shaft talk, so to speak.
We got a lot to talk about. So
yeah, because I do kind of like those, and you've pulled me in, you've sucked me into these stupid golf shafts, which I never cared about before in my life. I never knew anything about them, but now you talk about these, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that one does. Is that one low kick point? Is it a little heavier? What's going on?
All right, we can do that. We'll get that going soon. Maybe even as early as next week. We'll see. Yeah. But like the video if you enjoyed it or just want to support us, please subscribe, hit the bell, get notified, do all the things.
It's the new thing, man. It's the cool thing to do. Everyone's doing it. I can't tell you. I think we've had over the last 2 weeks, 45 new subscribers or something. So just jump in and do it now.
Do it. All right. That's Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen on all social medias. I'm Bill Bush, driverangeheroes.com, at Range Heroes, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to consume it. This has been episode 91 of That Range Lifer Show. Sometimes about golf. We'll see you next week.